your journey into the heart and soul of Greece. And now, member-supported Hellenic Public Radio Cosmos FM 91.5, a bilingual Greek-American radio program coming to you every day through WNYE 91.5 FM from the Demetrius and Georgia Kaloidis Broadcasting Studios to the greater New York area and worldwide through cosmosfm.org. Our programs air Monday through Friday from 7 to 8 p.m., Saturdays from noon to 3:30 p.m., and Sunday mornings from 9 to 1:30 p.m.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Hellenic Public Radio, Cosmos FM 91.5 on WNYE in New York. I'm your host, Anna Eliopoulos. And today, I'm very excited to be talking to another musician that is going to be taking part in this amazing kind of proposal, this amazing situation that has happened under coronavirus of this online festival called Fengaros Reacts. George Sidiropoulos, welcome to the program.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the show. And let's talk about, first of all, about you as a musician. Kind of explain to the audience, or if you could encapsulate what you do, how would you describe yourself and your musical style?
Well, so I'm a singer-songwriter and producer. So I write my own lyrics, I write my own music, and I produce everything that I do. I also work individually only as a producer and as a songwriter and as a musician for like other artists and all of that. But I usually tend to like what I do most. So I get into my like man cave and just work on my stuff. And I'd say that I have influences from like a lot of folky singers, folky and like old bluesy stuff like Clapton and Bob Dylan and all of like that era of music. But I'm very interested in what's happening in like today's world, and the sounds and the productions that we use currently. And I'm kind of trying to incorporate those two worlds and do something unique and come up with something new. The idea that I use and the phrase that I use is the quote of like moving forward while looking back.
Oh.
So it's like you're getting where you can get from the inspirations that you have, which were like the old music that I was hearing, and incorporating it with this new idea of production and this new idea of sound in general. And yeah.
And I'm always fascinated by artists, like you were born in Cyprus, you grew up in Cyprus, that kind of separate themselves from the language that they were born and grew up in and decide to create music in a separate language, which for your case is English. Why did you decide to do music in English versus doing music in Greek?
To be honest, I didn't like decide it. It just came natural. And I'm guessing it's because I went to like an English speaking high school. And that was a main reason why I chose English. But also my influences were mainly English speaking singer-songwriters and like singers, you know what I mean? So it was very easy for me to understand, but at the same time express myself within that world rather than the let's just say Greek world. I do have songs in Greek as well. I do write Greek songs, but I find myself working better when I can express myself in English. I don't know why.
That's fair enough. I mean, however it comes out of you, right? The inspiration and the words. But also we have to say that you, at one point in time, were stateside. You were here in the United States.
Yeah. Like, it seems like it looks like 2 months ago, but I think it's like 5 months ago. I've been in LA for 2 years. For the last 2 years, I was studying in LA and for music production and engineering, which of course gave me another inside look on the industry in the US, let's say music industry, which that's mainly why I chose to do why I have this phrase of looking back while moving forward. That's where I stayed on that phrase. You know what I mean? That's where I got that from, because that's the mecca of where music, like today's music, is evolving. So being in the source, just yeah, the closer you are to the source, the more ideas you have, I guess.
And of course, now we're in a very weird period because coronavirus, for as much as, has allowed a lot of musicians, because of the fact that there's really no outlets to perform and at times to even possibly congregate, has forced a lot of singer-songwriters, a lot of musicians to kind of create, because this is the only time that there's a giant pause globally to be able to do so.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself, kind of creating more as well because of the fact that you have to take a pause on anything that would move beyond just creating your own music?
I was having a conversation about this with a friend of mine like a couple of days ago, and it's so weird because as a songwriter, you need stories, so you need things to happen to write about. And I'm not really the kind of guy who's like, I'll just come up with this idea, I'll paint a picture in my head and write about that. I kind of have to live through something in order to write about something. So being stationary and like being in lockdown, I guess, and being in the same room is like, what am I supposed to write? But at the same time, like the bright side of this is that it gave me enough time to reevaluate everything. And because I was heading more into the world of production and labeling myself purely as a producer, like I'm not doing anything on my own, because I was working so much for other people and for other artists, especially when I was in LA. So this time has given me the chance to reevaluate that and actually figure out what I want to do and how I want to proceed with the idea of doing music for a living. And yeah.
Well, let's give the audience a taste of your music and your stories and your songwriting. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Hellenic Public Radio, Cosmos FM 91.5 on WNYE in New York. And now a song by George Sidiropoulos.
Thank you.
I was 16. She was my daydream. And I find it funny 'cause she kinda looks like you. I turned 18. Cheesecake for my birthday. She did the same thing. This ends way before it starts. Take it from my scars, there's no way it's happening. You're still my broken heart, we're in a piece of art. I'll take the risk and flip the coin no matter where it lands. Tell me, baby, what's your story? Where you come from, where you're going. I'm just asking, 'cause I wonder if it's you. I was 20, felt love but vaguely. Faint perfume in my dorm room, smells like you. 22 and counting, I came across this lady, sculpting the pavement, leads to you. I know how this ends way before it starts. Take it from my scars, there's no way it's happening. You're still my broken heart, we're in a piece of art. I'll take the risk and flip the coin no matter where it lands. Tell me, baby, what's your story? Where you come from, where you're going. I'm just asking, 'cause I wonder if it's you.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And we are listening to the music of George Sidiropoulos. And we're going to have a wonderful opportunity to be able to hear him live because George is part of an online festival called Fengaros Reacts. This is being put together by Cyprus's Louvana Records. They usually have a major concert every year in the summer, but because of the coronavirus pandemic, they were not able to do so. So they decided to take their efforts online and present local Cypriot talent to the world in a variety of concerts that are going to be available on YouTube and Facebook. And George's concert specifically is next Friday the 15th of January. It will be at 9:15 local time, Cyprus. So that for us here in the New York City area will be at 2:15 Eastern. George, tell me how you got involved with the Fengaros Reacts online festival.
I played at Fengaros. I played, as you mentioned, like we used to do this huge festival during the summer here in Cyprus. And I played there live in 2017, I think, like 4 years ago. And I've stayed in touch with Louvana Records, and they contacted me like 2 months ago. And they were like, we're going to do this thing. As you know, because of COVID, this is happening and everyone's like staying home. Blah, 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 and would like to give something back in a way and show how we as musicians, I guess, react to this. And I found that it's a beautiful idea and it's a very cool idea. And I was in Cyprus, so I was like, yeah, I'll be here. So let's do it.
I mean, it's kind of an interesting experience because as, let's say, a working musician, normally your bread and butter, the way that you as a musician not only present your music to the world, but also kind of make a livelihood is through performances mainly. But COVID obviously has not allowed many musicians to do that, if at all. So how has that presented or affected you as a musician, presented a challenge, I would imagine, in your development and your ability to show your music to the world?
Yeah, I'd say that it's refreshing, if that makes sense, because it's been so long since I've like performed, especially because I'm going to perform with a band. So it's been so long since I've played like a full band set, and it's, especially during this like times, I'm just looking forward to do that live. You know what I mean? It's a completely different feeling performing live rather than just being in a studio and recording it, and then someone else comes in and records his part. It's a completely different feeling. So it gave me the chance to get into that space and appreciate, I guess, the beauty of performing live once more, even during this time.
I've in talking to some musicians, though, it's very interesting that so many of them are somewhat being optimistic during this time as well, because like, let's say, for example, with something like Fengaros Reacts, where it's online, it's open to a global audience versus, let's say, for example, the regular Fengaros Festival, which would have only been available and accessible to people that were there.
Yeah, that's for sure a good point, I guess. It's amazing what the internet can do and what you could do when you're online. And I mean, everything has its good side and its bad side, but I think for musicians especially, it's amazing how many people you can touch and how many people you can reach. I think everyone needs this, like what Fengaros is going to do. I think everyone needs this, like almost pausing with everything that's happening, like pausing once more and being like, okay, we're all in this together in a way, because everyone's on the same boat, whether we like it or not. Everyone is pretty much in the same situation. So having the opportunity to do that and actually share whatever is happening with pretty much everyone that is willing to see it and everyone that wants to see it, that's just amazing.
So now that we've been living through this for however many months, it's getting close to almost a year of coronavirus being in the global, lives of everyone. As a musician, where do you think the future of music is going with this? Because even I would imagine when things get back to normal, the idea of how music is made, how music is created, how music is presented is going to change after this.
I do think so, yeah. As I said before, it's like there's always a good side and a bad side. But I think I don't like to what's the word? Complain, I guess, about the situation. It's just you make the best of what you have. You have the hand you're dealt with. You just make the best of what you have, and what makes you happy with what you have accessible to you. So whatever the case is, I think it will be easier to collaborate in the sense of music. Let's just say it would be way much more easier to collaborate because so many people have been doing it because of the use of internet and because of the use of accessibility to other people and reaching other people who are like, you're in New York while I'm in Cyprus and we can still do this, which is so cool. And I think it would be interesting to see how music can reflect on this COVID situation and how people and like singer-songwriters and singers in general and artists will talk about this time. I'm very curious about that, and I hope that it gives everyone a chance to dig deeper, I guess, into who they really are and what they really want to do, and give them the opportunity to express that through music.
That's a beautiful sentiment, and I hope 100% that you are right. George, if our audience wants to find out more about you and your music, where can they go?
I mainly use Instagram or Facebook. So you can find me on Facebook as George Sidiropoulos, or you can find me on Instagram as Sidiropoulos_Insta.
All right. And I'm excited to see your live set. It's going to be one of many that is going to be part of the Fengaros Reacts Festival that starts in just a few days' time. But of course, if you want to see George's set, that is going to be next Friday the 15th at 9:15 local time here in the New York City and tri-state area in the East Coast. It will be at 2:15 Eastern. And of course, if you happen to miss it, you'll be able to see it afterwards on the Luvana Records YouTube pages and on their Facebook pages as well. George, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you so much for having me. All the best.
I've been chasing pavement for the last few months. Now I'm living in the moment, 'cause that's all I got. I caught myself changing just to suit her needs, while she was busy faking, pulling me back in. I was wrapped up in emotions I never thought I could feel. Wasted time swimming in oceans so far away beyond reach. Ain't got no time to hear your story. No need to tell me how you feel. I'm so used to hearing sorry. I'm so sick of hearing please. Go on and cry about it. Tell your friends what Georgie did. You'll find comfort in their lies, baby. Oh, you haven't changed a bit. I was wrapped up in emotions I never thought I could feel. Wasted time swimming in oceans so far away beyond reach. You got me thinking, drinking, wishing you were never mine. my peace of mind, my peace of mind. I was wrapped up in emotions I never thought I could feel. Wasted time swimming in oceans so far away beyond reach, so far away beyond reach.